Hello there, you're now with me, Shal Shaminato, for TVS News at 5. Let's begin with this update. Hidden under the guise of a residential house, an online gambling syndicate was busted by the authorities on Monday. The call center was operated at 2 units of an apartment building at Jalan Datuk Tawi Sli in Kuching.
Sarawak Commissioner of Police Dato' ID Ismail said the call centre has been in operation for the past 2 months and earned a gross profit of 2,500 ringgit daily. 24 foreign nationals, including 7 women aged between 20 to 47, were arrested during the operation. The syndicate operated via social media applications such as WhatsApp, Telegram, WeChat, Skype and Facebook, as well as promotion through phone calls. Also seized during the operation include 14 units of computer monitors and computer processing unit CPU, 17 mobile phones, internet routers, modems and other peripherals. The case is being investigated under Section 4(1)(g) of the Common Gambling House Act 1953, while all the suspects were detained under Section 51(5)(b) of the Immigration Act 1959 and 63.
Meanwhile, the Association of Private Hospitals Malaysia, APHM, has requested its member hospitals in Sarawak to assist in the increasing number of COVID-19 patients in the state. Its president, Dr. Kuljit Singh, said although the number of patients in categories 4 and 5 is low, he said the number of those in these categories requiring intensive care unit and wards will soon increase beyond the available capacity.
Dr. Kuljit expressed hope that more non-COVID patients from the government hospitals can be transferred to private hospitals in Kuching, which will create space for COVID patients to be treated in government facilities. He noted that in the Greater Klang Valley, 3,187 patients have received care in the private hospitals and currently there are about 1,000 beds available for future transferal. He hopes that the private hospitals in Kuching and other towns in Sarawak would follow the examples in treating self-paying COVID and transferring non-COVID patients based on their existing capacity and capability.
And a total of 593 million ringgit has been spent on emergency procurement of additional hospital equipment for COVID-19 treatment over the past 2 years. This portrays the capability of government hospitals used to treat COVID-19 patients who are in dire need.
Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said the procurements made in 2020 and this year, 2021, had been distributed to health facilities nationwide. As such, the ministry will maintain the hospitals that have been converted to full COVID-19 hospitals in state nationwide. Khairi said, apart from providing additional hospital equipment, the Health Ministry had also set up the National Rapid Response Task Force so that health workers could be mobilized to states with high cases such as Penang, Kedah and Sabah. Up to date, a total of 223 health workers had been sent to Penang, 156 to Kedah and 102 people to Sabah to ensure proper handling of critical and to avoid burnout among health providers.
And Malaysia remains competitive in attracting investments into the country, despite the challenging COVID-19 pandemic situation. In a bid to target high-quality, advanced technology-oriented investments focusing on long-term sustainability with emphasis on environmental, social and governance elements.
Senior Minister cum International Trade and Industry Minister Dato' Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali said, Malaysia's strategic position, conducive business environment and ecosystem, as well as strategic investment-related initiatives are expected to continue to make Malaysia a preferred destination in the region. Nevertheless, he said the government acknowledges that the foreign direct investment FDI outlook will remain challenging and competitive, as reported by the Department of Statistics Malaysia and the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development UNCTAD. Moving forward, Azmin said the government will continue to adopt three main approaches in revitalizing the nation's economy, including making the National COVID-19 Immunization Program PICK a catalyst for the safe and systematic reopening of the economy. The government will also continue to strengthen the country's economic fundamentals through the implementation of trade and investment policies that are open, transparent and business-friendly. This includes the government's ongoing efforts to ratify the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreements for Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP) and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership (RCEP).
Saluran Initiative. By 2030, the Sarawak government aims for Sarawak to become a developed state driven by data and innovation. The smart city concept is introduced to improve the efficiency of digital infrastructures. The smart traffic light system are available throughout Kuching, especially traffic congested roads, which can reduce travel time by 25%. With Sarawak Pay, the first e-wallet implemented by the Sarawak government helps to accelerate Sarawak's economic growth and encourage cashless payments. In addition, the online agriculture marketplace has eased rural farmers to promote and sell their products. Meanwhile, 800 CCTVs will be installed throughout Greater Kuching by the end of 2021 to provide a safer environment for the community. This will not only help with crime prevention, but also to warn of natural disasters and emergencies.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera semua. Mungkin anda semua sering dengar saya menyanyi, tengok saya berlakon, tapi kali ini saya nak baca berita. Jadi jangan lupa untuk saksikan Inspirasi TVS, pelbagai cerita menginspirasikan yang akan saya kongsikan kepada anda. Bersama saya Azam Pit, Sabtu dan Ahad ini pukul 8.35 malam hanya di TVS saluran 122 Astro dan My TV.
Saksikan saya Sharon Kezia dan juga
Kapten Syamsia
pada setiap hari
Selasa
hanya di TVS saluran 122 Astro dan My TV. Suara wanita menginspirasikan duniamu.
Welcome back to the next update. The Bangi Sessions Court fined a fabrication company 30,000 ringgit after its representative pleaded guilty on its behalf to negligence in the accidental death of a worker 2 years ago. Judge meted out the fine on Rioka, Malaysia Human Resources Manager K.S. Lechemi, a 44-year-old man who entered the plea under Section 15(2)(c) of the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994. The offence is punishable by a fine of not more than 50,000 ringgit, a jail sentence of up to 2 years, or both. According to charge sheet, the firm is accused of failing to ensure safe workplace conditions at around 11:45 a.m. on November 5, 2019 at the firm, which resulted in an accident that killed 29-year-old Azman Abdullah. Meanwhile, the company paid the fine. On the other hand, the issue of drug abuse needs to be addressed using an integrated, multidisciplinary, mutually supportive and balanced approach between reducing demand and supply. Rehabilitation efforts should continue to be diversified, and the society should be made more aware that the addiction needs to be treated. Home Minister Datuk Sri Hamzah Zainuddin has requested a special allocation of 10 million ringgit under Budget 2022 to further boost activities and efforts to maintain the recovery of former drug addicts in the country.
to prove that recovery is possible, which is a new initiative introduced by the National Anti-Drug Agency AADK. 30 mentors have been appointed to be role models in the community this year. Hamzah Zainuddin said as of August 31st, 47,863 people had received treatment and rehabilitation at AADK throughout Malaysia.
And the government has the capacity to accommodate the increment of the minimum wage from the current to 1,200 ringgit. As such, the increment would also encourage businesses to invest in automation and artificial intelligence at improving productivity. This would indirectly create high-value jobs for local workers.
Bursa Malaysia Berhad Chairman Tan Sri Abdul Wahid Omar reiterated that the minimum wage revision could be done gradually over a period of time to give businesses enough time to plan accordingly. Wahid, who is also the former minister in the Prime Minister's department, expressed that it is crucial for all business owners to ensure that their employees are well compensated, have enough facilities and work in a safe and friendly atmosphere. The minimum wage was last revised on February 1st, 2020 with a 100 ringgit hike. In the meantime, Abdul Wahid said he hoped that businesses would take the initiatives to offer fair remuneration for their workers instead of waiting for the governments to announce a new policy on the minimum wage.
And now on to some world affairs. Cleanup began in Melbourne after a magnitude 6.0 earthquake struck near the city early on Wednesday. The quake's epicenter was near the rural town of Mansfield in the state of Victoria, about 200 kilometres northeast of Melbourne, and was at a depth of 10 kilometres, and aftershock was rated 4.0. This is one of Australia's biggest on record and caused damage to buildings in the country's second largest city of Melbourne, causing damage to buildings in the country's second largest city.
A bit exciting for the first time, but also a little tiny bit scary.
And what did you think?
Really scary.
What did it feel like?
It was very bumpy and it was really scary.
The quake was felt as far away as Adelaide and Sydney, although there were no reports of damage outside Melbourne and no reports of injuries. More than half of Australia's 25 million population lives in the southeast of the country, from Adelaide to Melbourne to Sydney.
And lava gushed from Spain's La Palma volcano on Tuesday night in the Canary Islands' first volcanic eruption in 50 years. A drone footage shows the active volcano continues to release lava, ash and smoke as evacuation is underway for locals living in nearby residential places.
The volcano started erupting on Sunday, September 19th. Shooting lava hundreds of meters into the air, engulfing forests and sending molten rock towards the ocean over a sparsely populated area of La Palma, which had been rocked by thousands of quakes in the prior days. This is the first time CUMBRE VIEJA volcano, located on the Canary Islands in the Atlantic Ocean, has erupted since 1971. Spain's Civil Guard police force said they are evacuating between 5,000 to 10,000 residents from the affected area. President of the Islands Council, Mariano Hernandez, reported no fatalities or injuries so far. However, 150 homes have been destroyed by the eruption.
And that concludes TVS News at 5. For more updates, don't forget to tune in to 11:30 Nightline tonight. Here with me, Shoshomato, and I'll see you tonight. Have a good evening.